All right. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. It's afternoon. Well, it's evening here, I guess. Technically, it's 5. Exciting. Ooh, we're going to turn that down just a smidge. Turn that down for now. We can minimize that. No afternoons. You're right, Cam. It is officially not afternoon anymore. And I'm definitely not eating McDonald's at 5 p.m. Maybe. All right, so today we're back with some Disco Elysium. This game was hella fun to play to start. Weirdly I don't think I've ever played a game that was this reading intensive, but I'm absolutely in love with the fact that I don't know what's gonna I punched it like a 12-year-old in the face by accident the other day, and that was great. Weird. I'm not saying I support punching 12-year-olds, but it was like a great start to the game, I guess. I don't know. To like the kind of randomness of the game. But yeah, I'm very excited to continue here. We'll see where we get. As a recap, so I didn't get very far. I played about 2 hours, 5 to 7. All children should be punched though. Yes, to an extent. I don't support child abuse, but I do support that children are annoying sometimes. Not saying that they should be hit, but they are annoying sometimes. But anyway, the game is fun. It's great. I am a detective, maybe. People have been telling me I'm a detective. I don't really know that I'm a detective. I don't really know who I am. I don't have a name yet. I'm just like some drunk dude who woke up, was told he's a detective. There's a dead dude in a tree. I keep puking and I can't take it down yet. I gotta kind of figure out how I'm gonna go about doing that first. And last I left it, I believe there's a strike going on. So I don't know if I'm gonna join the strike side or if I'm gonna join like the man, you know, like shut the gag as you're on the Truman Show. Maybe, could be, but I don't know. I'm very excited. I love that this game, like KOTOR, I would compare the two a little bit in the fact that like KOTOR in this game, you make choices, it impacts the rest of your gameplay. It's cool, but I like that this one doesn't necessarily like. There's obviously choices that are shitty, like, you know, be an asshole to people, but I really do enjoy the fact that it doesn't really tell you like whether you have to be good or bad. It doesn't tell you like light side, dark side. It's just kind of like make choices, do what you want to do. And I can support that. So we're going to hop in here. Which one do I want to go? I don't remember where this stuff is. We'll figure it out when we actually hop in, I guess. We're gonna turn this down. Oh, did I hit new game? Whoops. All right. We're gonna load this game. I have Pascal underneath me. So, he's being a good boy right now. We're gonna go based on the autosave, I guess. Seems like that's the last one that was made. So I think I was just about to like talk to strike people. Oh no, I already did. Oh yeah, there's like this weird horse statue that's like a fuck you or something to like the wealthy, maybe? I don't remember who it's a fuck you to, but it's a fuck you to somebody. I forgot how much I love the art. I have gloves. I even brought my own overalls. I don't know what that has to do with the strike. I don't know what is overall centric about this strike, that those are required, but, or like, were they supposed to be provided maybe? Right to work, right to work. You're fucking with the wrong worker here, sir. I ain't fucking with no workers. All right, let's see. Can I get through? What is this thing? It says GRIH. Everyone should be more like Measurehead. Who the hell is Measurehead? Oh yeah, that's right. I have this like lieutenant guy who like slightly judges me and is somewhat of an asshole. Also, I forget what time. There's something I need to go back for in like 40 minutes, I think. I don't specifically remember what it is, but I remember there's something. Let's see. Do I have a journal? Find smokes and smoke them is on my list. Sing karaoke's on my list. Inspect the body. Equip a complete volumetric shit compressor. Thought. Oh. That's right. So like the cool thing about this game is like all of your inner demons are like weird assholes or some shit. I don't remember. I'm gonna internalize hobo cop too. Oh, that's what I'm waiting on. I think so. It takes, I think, 3 more minutes to internalize the volumetric shit compressor. Your shit is a part rather than becoming a cop. It's supposed to be the opposite. Compressed in a small area to achieve a solid level of shit compression. Squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. That's what I was waiting on. So I've been squeezing my butt cheeks, fun fact. Not that I can't relate to that. All right, cool. So report your badge missing. You need to report your badge missing to the precinct. That's right, I told him I didn't have it. Find booze, definitely want to do that. Who made the call reporting the crime? Call Sylvie using Kim's shortwave. Ask whether she made the call. Pay for damages. Meh. Split a kilo with Kuno. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I'm gonna go punch Kuno's dad. That's right. Kuno's that like little asshole that I punched in the face. Dude was a punk. That's the kind of kid that needs to be punched. No offense to children out there, but when you start calling yourself Kuno, talking shit and being a drug dealer, you deserve to get punched. Just saying. Open trash container. There's a locked trash container behind blah, 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 blah. I could use brute force to pry it open, but I need a pry bar. Oh, but the manager should have the key. That's right. Okay, cool. We got a lot of things to do here. I'm excited. My shit should be compressed any second now. Oh yeah, this guy was an asshole. I forgot about him. I can't remember why. I think he's racist. I'm pretty sure he like hates Asians, question mark. All right, let's go see. Oh, actually, first things first. Where's his police car? Let's go report my badge missing. Oh my God, is this his squad car? Is this a goddamn squad car? Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery? Bearing the number 57. Oh, buddy. Come on, lay down, buddy. You're okay. Vapors emanate from the large engine on the back. It hasn't been shut off. It hasn't had time to cool off. Let's open the door. Let's call. In the cabin, you're welcomed to by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. Run your fingers over the levers. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch of the metal clutch. So very familiar in your palm. Interesting. Kim, what are we looking at? What is this thing? This is the Corpus Canema, my motor carriage. You can use the toolbox and radio if you'd like. He nods at the cabin. All right, so this is one of my things, my like mind things. Island Empire. Motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat. What is this sinking feeling I have? This is what I love about this game, like these weird introspective conversations I have with myself. What is the sinking feeling I have with the word motor carriage? Can we turn it on and drive somewhere? Okay, but what is a motor carriage? Do all policemen have such a cool... Oh, yeah, let's ask that. Do they all have motor carriages? The Corpus Motor... Capri's Motor Cop does provide most of our patrol vehicles, yes. Motor Corps, sorry. What is this sinking feeling I have? Let's ask that question. Nothing. It's probably nothing, forget it. Forget I brought it up. Please proceed with the carefree lollygagging. Squint your eyes. Okay, but what is it? A motorized vehicle, officer. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept. We've had these for nearly a century. Can we turn it on and drive somewhere? No, I'm afraid not. He straightens his spine. We have a murder case on our hands, remember? I feel like he's a lot more monotone than that. Just like, we have a murder case on our hands, remember? Very just matter of fact. He like judges but doesn't show that he's judging type deal, you know? You know. In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. We're gonna pull out the toolbox first. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools are neatly organized. Oh, my puppy. What's wrong, buddy? Here. Luckily, this is a one-hand game, so you can spell out. Oh. You got caught on my headphones, dude. All right. Puppy cam for free, y'all. I should be making you pay for this. All right, let's see. Hold on, buddy. Let me get organized so you're more comfortable. Is that better? Is that better? You feel better, buddy? You just want to be loved? Oh. He just wanted to be loved. Let me get my chat open. I don't have my chat on my screen. There we go. Now I can see your chat. Okay. The tools are neatly organized. Kim, take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools like some men are. Empathy. He's clearly a little protective of his tools, but what can you do? Work is work. Take the pry bar, take the rubber-handed chain. Ooh. Can I just take everything? Take the pry bar. Pry bar feels nice and cold in your hands. Heavier than you think. Physical instrument. Cold and heavy, like truth. You feel like you're reunited with truth once more. That's a little strange. Useful for interfacing. Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. I'm gonna take the flashlight. It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Police issue. Blue. Perception. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. Take the chain cutters. Handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand. Push in the pull-out toolbox. All right, we're gonna pick up the radio. The frequency tableau lights up and a green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves, cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static. This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you? Kim. Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st. I'm putting him on. Ooh. What do I want to say? This is officer. Yeah. Hi, Alice. This is the officer from the 41st Precinct speaking. Nice to meet you. This is Officer Alice Dimitri. Dimitri? Yeah, Dimitri. Alice Dimitri. Ooh, what's up, buddy? You're a tall boy. Precinct 57, how may I assist you? A voice replies in the radio. Can you connect me to the 41st? I have something I need to report. Just a second, officer. She puts you on hold, the static crackling softly like a bonfire. After a while, you hear an old man greet you from the radio. His rattly voice is oddly familiar. 10, 2, 10, 5. This is the 41st. Come in over. Jules Pidieu. Esprit de corpse. Corpus. A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle smoking with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. A radio switchboard. Hey, this is me here. I work at your station. Jules. 10-4, what's your status over? I don't know why I'm making him Southern, because this is like not a Southern American place. Jules, 10-4 with your status. I cannot do accents, and I don't know why my French always has to add a my status, 10-18, 10-20, come over. Or no, not come over, over. Please just talk human to me. These numbers mean nothing to me. State your message, sir, over. This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss. 10-4, your badge should have most of your personal details. Look over that. Over. I, don't have it, my badge. 10-9, repeat message. Over. My badge. I can't find it anywhere. Basically, it's gone. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need a 10-22 to the captain. Over. Half-light. 10-22. The captain? This sounds bad. Bad. And scary. Like being called to the headmaster's office in school. I like that, like, other countries call it the headmaster. I'm so used to principal. John Vicmar? Is it him? A dry voice asks in the background. What does he want? Says he lost his badge and needs to report it. He what? He lost his badge? Say nothing. We're not gonna say anything. Chester McLean. Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think? It's Officer Dick? He tries to speak through the laughter. Mullen from bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity? Encyclopedia. Dick Mullen is not your name. It's a name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Authority. Defend yourself immediately. They're laughing at you. Okay, alright. Come on, operator, tell them to stop. Haha. Officer has lost his badge. Looks like I'm the first cop to ever misplace it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Haha. Officer lost his badge. Haha. Like I'm the first cop to ever misplace his badge. He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically. Jules. Jean. Oh, god damn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this. Jules. Satellite Officer Vicmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation of the entire station. Who fucking writes this? This is great. I just love that they actually wrote a conversation down, like a legit full-on conversation. Mullen dicked us? Oh no, that's not a question. Mullen dicked us. Come on, operator. Can't we just move on? I want to get it reported and be done with it. Task completed. Report your badge missing. Gained experience. New task. Track your badge down. Jules. 10-4. I hear you, officer. I'm going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over. Fuck me. Matt comes here. You gotta hear this. Oh, Matt, come here. You gotta hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge. I like Chester. Chester's my favorite. Mac Torreson. What's going on? Super cop here lost his badge. He lost his what now? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge. Could you all please just stop saying lost his badge for a moment? I'm gonna say enough of this. Yeah. Enough of this now. I have other things to discuss. I'm Southern apparently. This is the voice I'm going for my character until I forget. 10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over. The animated conversation in the back is making it difficult for him. Oh, that's speak. Okay, I gotta get better at reading this. The animated conversation in the back is making it difficult for him to hear you. Chester. New heights even for Captain Sober. Mac. Ask him. The speaker gasps for air. Ask him if he lost his gun, too. The room roars with laughter. Jules. Sergeant Torreson wants to know if you lost your gun, too. Over. Okay, Half-Light. Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck, you don't know where it is, do you? I'm gonna go... I don't have my gun! No, it's gone. It's not fucking on you. Horrific necktie. That's right, my necktie speaks to me. That's weird, but it's awesome. Don't sweat it. Bratton? You don't need a gun to have fun. We can still have fun. It's not all over. Jules. Hey, no worries, Death Fan. I appreciate you stopping by, though. Look forward to seeing you later, man. 10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over. All right, so I have... This is like a D&D style game, so I can do roles, and I have things that I'm good at and bad at. I'm not good at drama. Apparently. So drama was convince them you didn't lose it. The 17% chance of not working. Or no, the 70% chance of it working. Or I can say nothing at all. Let's try the drama. 17%. Let's go for it. Ooh. Even before you get the words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain. No, of course I didn't lose my gun. Fuck it. I didn't lose my gun. Jules, he says he didn't lose his gun. Or his fun, whatever that means. Chester, ask him to describe it. His gun, not his fun. Just the gun will do. He laughs. Jules, Satellite Officer McLean requests a description of your weapon. Over. You're okay, buddy. Physical instrument. Success. Oh, okay, so I think I don't have to roll because it's a medium, and I think my average is enough to beat it, I guess is why I don't have to roll for it. The fuck do you need a gun for? Look at the pythons on your arms. You are the gun. The biggest one in the world. Island Empire. So I assume this means like I'm by myself or something. I don't know, like I feel isolated, I guess. Oh, request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun. Puppy, what? Here. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Cam is in school right now / working, so Pascal's in here with the door closed. He's usually fine, but he doesn't like the door closed. So we're gonna describe the plasma gun. Oh, I like this one. Trick question. I'm a martial artist. My entire body is one big gun. Jules. He says he's a living weapon and we're trying to trick him. John. Host in heaven. Did he lose his gun and his mind? Mac. Dear God, he lost his gun. Oh my, I can't. The man succumbs to laughter again. I don't know how he would laugh. He seems like a tough guy. John. This isn't really a laughing... Oh, no, sorry. This isn't really a laughing matter. Chester. Matt can't face the giant Coco nerd by himself, but Disco here made him piss his pants. Mac. Oh, I can't. Fuck. He lost his... Ask him if he still has his wiener. Jules. I'm not going to... Ask him. Jules, Sergeant Torson here is wondering if you're still in possession of your genitalia. Over. Half-Light. Now's a good time to say fuck and ass and so on. That'll make this all right. Oh. I like this. I left it at his mama's after I fucked her ass all night. Tell him that. By the way, I'm so sorry for all the language, but I'm going to be reading this verbatim, so. That's a negative. Not going to say that over. Oh, you know what I have? Ooh, I'm going to be doing something fun. I'm going to try at least. Mac, what's he saying? Share with the class. Jules, he said he sodomized your mother. Mac, the ate my mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party. Some nerve he's got. Chester, sure her vanilla waffles were the only thing he ate. Oh no, sure that was the only thing he ate? Mac, shut up, Chester. This isn't funny. This is my mom we're talking about. Tell him to apologize right now. What the hell is this conversation? Jules, Sergeant Torson is requests that you apologize for the claims you made over his mother. Over. Here we go. Hey, if you don't like it, if you don't like the fallout, maybe don't with the fire. Maybe don't the firewalker. Jules, Max says maybe you shouldn't have antagonized the firewalker in the first place. Jean, who? The disbelief in Vicmar's voice. Vicmar. I'm gonna go Vicmar. Vicmar is his name. Is overwhelming. Hold on, y'all. Dude is biting my feet like nobody's business. Here's a fucking antler, dude. Chew on that, buddy. Chew on your antler. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. All right. Satellite Officer Vic Firewalker. Jules, I'm afraid he might be referring to himself as Firewalker, sir. Jean, fire water? He lost it. Tell him to find his badge and gun. That's the only thing that matters. We're gonna start beeping, even though I've been like literally screaming curse words. I think that's funnier. So we're gonna do it, or I'm gonna try it. We'll see how it goes. I might get tired of it. I have a fun little button, so. No, dude, I just gave you an antler. Stop biting my toes. Good boy. Good boy. Jules, Satellite Officer. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good without my gun. Thanks. Jules, I'm gonna report that you are in pursuit of your service weapon. Over. Mac, in pursuit of his. The man is fighting back tears. I don't know. I'm not good at acting yet. We'll see if this develops. Jules, officer, do you need any further assistance? Over. We're gonna end it here. That's all for now. Jules, roger that. 1010, over and out. The static ends with a loud click, then everything is silent in the cabin. Spirit to Corpse. 18 kilometers to the south in the 41st Precinct relay booth, a small crowd is gathered around Communication Officer Jules Old Boy Pidou, around a dozen cops. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minoy enters. Her left arm is in bandages, her hair trimmed short. Pascal, stop. No. Pascal. Judith. What's going on here? Did I miss something? She asks, startled. Jean Vicmer turns to her and says, uh-oh. What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He lost his badge and his sidearm. He seems confused, delirious even. He stops to think. Mac the torso Torson, his finger, his fist. Oh, never mind. I thought he was talking. He's not. I need to read this better. His, fucking... I'm not good at live bleeping. Oof, dude, stop it. No. No, you're teething, but you gotta bite on something else. Dude is just 6 months. He lost all his baby teeth recently. like a mofo. Laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner Chester near the entrance. Suddenly he interjects, "Yeah, Mullen was all right. Sound drunk to me." Chester, the tall ginger's right. On his right, still had tears of laughter in his eyes. "Yeah, Mac's right. That was some gnarly right there." No, buddy. No. We're gonna do puppy cam again. Hey. You can't be bothering Daddy today. Daddy is having to do schoolwork today. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer bites down on his knuckles. "Enough," he shouts across the room. The commotion dies down. All eyes turn to him. "None of this is funny. It's sad. That's what it is. He's a cop. He's one of us. I'm this." Like I said, we're gonna live bleep till I decide to get tired of it. Minoy looks down at her nearly polished black shoes. There's a quiet firmness to her voice when she speaks. "We must help him." "Yeah? How do you plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on carrot juice? He's a lost man." Judith, I know we can't give up on him. I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't. The crowd in the room has started fidgeting uncomfortably. Someone's trying to slip out unnoticed. Come here, buddy. I'll put you in your bed with your antler. Hold on. Maybe that'll help. I cannot be biting my feet like that. All right. Just trying to slip out unnoticed. Also, how am I seeing the other side of this conversation? I mean, I get it. It's a game, but it's weird. After the length they're going to make all these real conversations, it's weird that I can hear everybody else. Jean, "Mac, man the door." He gestures Torsen to block the doorway. Then he turns to Minoy. "You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse." Those were his words. He sighs heavily and turns to address the room. "This does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain or anyone else. We'll give him a couple days to pull it together." Jules, old boy lights another cigarette and says, "I guess I can hold off the report for a few days." John, "Good." Vic Mayer turns to the others. "Okay, everybody, nothing but a prank call here. We got our laughs, now get back to work." Cool. Espiritu Corpus, far north, on the other side of the motorway. The officer quietly hunches with his hand on the motor carriage. Pick up the call. "This is Precinct 57. The operator greets you through the static. How may I assist you?" I need you to connect me to a civilian, a Sylvie. She may have reported a murder." "Of course. What's her number, officer?" Kim, didn't Gartier give you Sylvie's number?" "Yes, hold on." The lieutenant takes a look at his notes. "Her number is 005-1944-298. Alice, received. Hold on, officer. We're going to start slapping a marching rhythm. "Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment. Takes a bit to get to the phone." Volition. "Just wait. Relax." Alice. "Nothing. Nothing." "Officer," she finally returns. "I have Sylvie Malika on the phone for you." Sylvie. "Yes, hello." A female voice greets you through the static. Sounds like she's millions miles from here. "Sylvie, I believe we met before. This is a detective from the Whirling in Rags." "Oh, right." She recognizes your voice almost immediately. "Hello, officer. What can I do for you?" You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again. Oh, I read that wrong. Empathy. Electrochemistry. There is no resentment in her tone. Oh, so I have to decide whether or not I heard it or not. Ooh, this is kind of cool. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it. I don't know what that is, but it's frustrating. You quit your job at the Whirling. Was it you who called the police? Have you seen my badge? Have you seen my gun? Why did you quit your job? You mean why did I leave the bar? You can hear her tense up on the other side. Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir. Wait, why aren't you comfortable discussing it with me? The static wavers. Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. From whom? You know whom. You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her words. Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else, not you. You mean me? You needed to get away from me? I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about this, okay? All right, I won't push you on this. Are you ever coming back to work? Maybe. I don't know. She seems to relax a little bit. I just know I have to take some time off right now. Was it you who called the police? No, not me. Do you know who made the call? No, sorry, I don't. She clears her throat. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take wires. People don't have the money to use have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone or the one on the coast. Kim, it was someone else. The lieutenant makes a note. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while. Okay, next question. Yeah, go on. Have you seen my badge? Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law. Wait, how did you first learn that I'm a police officer? You told me back in the Whirling. You told everybody. Showed us your badge. I don't need to hear about it anymore. My badge is missing. Have you seen it anywhere? Oh, no, I haven't. Sorry. Puppy, no. Have you seen my gun? Please, no, not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective. She sounds beyond exacerbated. I showed you my gun? When did it happen? You were trying to impress some people with it? Everyone was eating and she stops hesitantly, not sure if she should continue. Sounds like it's gonna be bad. Do you really want to know? And what did I do? You were waving it around everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you. And then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic. Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after. My empathy, interesting. Half-Light. Oh, I like Half-Light a lot. People tried to back away from you or even slip out the door, but you screamed, I'm the god law and you have to listen to me. You are all suspects in a murder investigation. I should have... Why would I threaten to kill myself? I mean, look at this world. I would love to stay. There's a silence on the other end of the line. Yes, but what happened to my gun? No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like, big bucks cannot lie, and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It's kind of true. It almost looks like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask, she sighs. We're gonna skip the... Come on. I don't feel like it. Doesn't seem like it's worth it. I got everything I need, thanks. I do hope so. Please don't call me again. Bye. She's ready to hang up. Hold on. We're gonna do empathy. We have a high % chance of getting it. Yes, you've obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags when she was still working there. Wait, before you go, you're mad at me, right? Tell me, what did I do? I can't remember anything. I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and emotional all the time, and then the squaw thing happened. It just made me want to quit. What squaw thing? That stuffed bird, the great squaw, you threw it against the wall while screaming, that bird, and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you this ever since you got there. Sounds like me, all right. This doesn't sound anything like me. I love birds. Bitch. Yeah. Bird got what was coming to her. Okay, officer. Her voice is withdrawing as if she's moving away from the speaker. Crackling static, and yes, more of that sweet static. The violence of your word is obviously scaring her. So you're telling me I was the one who made you want to quit? Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I've seen so many assholes in this place. I've seen sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months, but you? She pauses. Puffy, no. We're not whining. Not today. Go on. I want to know what I did. Well, you were the worst of all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Nope. Even about little things, like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now. Hold on, which song? We Go On by the 0000. I don't know. I can't even listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. Sorry about the song. To hell with the song. Then there was your room, your project, an experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Oh my God, I don't know why I read it that way. You wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant. I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about how you actually a really cool guy and no one understands it. One of the coolest guys there is. The coolest guy in Jamrock. Something about disco too. Sounds intense. And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself. Wait, police documents? The ones I had to wrench out of your toilet? What happened to them? Damn it, I don't remember what I did with your damn papers. I don't remember every little thing I do. Resentment gives way to concern in her voice. She's worried. She might have accidentally done something bad. Then she remembers it's you. Especially when there's a hurricane loose, it's your fault for losing them, not mine. Island Empire. Nice. Something in you wants to immediately forget about this, as if there was a reason you threw them away. Okay, I get it. I wasn't a very good tenant. No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. I'm truly sorry. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again and let's pretend it never happened. What else did I sing? I'm looking for a song. Oh, all sorts of things. Some disco, rock too. So much disco and rock. Maybe you can help me identify this one particular song. Which one would that be? One that was really sad. Sad? I think you mean the smallest church in Saints? Butchered that right up. Her voice carries a tone of disappointment. Interesting. You still have to find it, however. He's been whining for you real bad. Right. Thank you for talking with me. Take care. You hear a sigh of relief on the other end. Wordless, the call breaks, then the already familiar voice. Anything else I can help you with, officer? I'm done with the radio for now. End call. 57th, over and out. Her voice disappears into the void. Corpus Canema. We're gonna tap the fuel heater gauge. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if it started. It's a large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat. There's no use pressing the heat button, he says, and jingles his keys. It won't start without the ignition key. Oh, I don't know what I pressed. Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my car, drive my MC. You pull out the, push in the toolbox. All right, cool. We're done. We spent way too much time in this cab. Time to go take care of some shit. Dock complete. Nice. We got our shit together, y'all. Volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revocol West, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity can last. All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap for endurance raised to 4. Interesting. That's kind of cool. Items. What is this? Lieutenant's handkerchief. So I'm gonna put this in my hand here, and I'm gonna put this in my hand here. Just cause, why not, right? Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Back to the journal. Track down your gun, your badge. Who made the calls? Keep searching for the caller despite lacking any obvious leads. This might take some time. Inspect the body. Let's go back and fucking take this body out the tree, y'all. I don't know why I went southern. It's my inner lawman. Oh, shoot, I can level up. Nice. Wait, oh, no, revert. I didn't know. Wait, do I only choose a few things? Oh. Okay, so what do I level up? Your power to influence yourself and others. I kind of want to do dreams and waking life. Work your mirror neurons. I like this. Oh, do I only get one? Okay, well then let's look before I make the decision to save it. Make the laws of physics work for the law. This is so weird. Oh, no. You know what? Screw that. Suggestion. We're leveling that up. I want to influence men and women, play the puppet master. Accept changes in clothes. Nice. This is so cool. All right, y'all. We're going to knock this body off the tree. Kuno, where you at, Kuno? Okay, but first things first, we're gonna pry this shit open because I feel like that's gonna be a whole can of worms. And I want to do this first. Okay. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid is a padlock that says whirling in rags. We're gonna try. Fuck. Force time isn't happening. You've jammed the pry bar under the lid, but it isn't bending. What is this? Your triceps ache for the metal to bend, but it resists. This calls for a potent curse to help you break its resistance. Use the power words. Yep, we're gonna use them. Hope y'all are ready. Kind of metal is this? This shit? Kim, the quality of metal is not the problem. From what I see, it's sturdy enough. Empathy. He's enjoying your little failure. He finds it amusing. He's reveling in the sweaty rage. He's reveling in the sweaty rage of your face. Hang from the... we're gonna kick it. Oh, we took a damage. We're at 2. Unsatisfying, hurtful. You hear a ringing sound, but not quite hollow. The can seems to be full. Full of itself. Content. Happy you content. Happy you failed. The snickering trash container is having a grand old time. Hang from the pry bar. Crash container. There's a creaking sound as the pry bar slips under the lid. You hang from it like a moron, huffing and puffing. Clearly the technique is wrong, but nothing else comes to mind. That's it. I can't pry it open. Let's ask the manager for the key. This is clearly not working. Fuck. I guess I'll go ask the manager later. First, we're gonna take this guy out of the tree. 72% chance of it working, y'all. Yeah! As you breathe in, the odor overcomes you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run. And your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. Do they always do that? They do after 7 days, yes. We're deep in decomposition here. The hanged man. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. Inspect the tattoos. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. Island Empire. His corpse is marked by stars. What will mine be marked by? Alcohol and heartbreak. Fuck. Your fist clenches suddenly. It will be riddled with disco. Decay is creeping over on the tattoo. Already most of the canvas that's holding it has darkened. Now it disintegrates slowly, letting out a stink. Is this a microelectronic system? I have only cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know enough if it were, but it's not quite complex enough, is it? We're missing something here. I agree. A sudden ring fills the air, and as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his the zipper of his orange jacket, he takes a thin piece of milled aluminum from his pocket coat and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. Small lens appears, some sort of camera. Let the lieutenant work. Kuno essay. Shit, Kuno, what the is that? Sorry, I had to go to my bleep. Kim. An instant color camera. He produces 2 metal capped ampoules, clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there. This is the first time he openly acknowledged the kid's existence. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one. He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting. Then... Ooh. A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of small ample glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper rolling out. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest in case we need it, the lieutenant says, and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. Cool machine. Yes. He slides the camera closed and tucks it away on his belt. It's pretty cool, isn't it? What do we need the photo for? It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is a letter to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around. Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell. Sure, just don't lose it. He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes. The hangman, the glossy-eyed corpse, looks by his mouth mute, his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms. Inspect the boots. The material appears to be ceramic, clean white, stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A nice array of interlocking plates cover them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. What kind of boots are those? What are those? They're armor, not boots. With his notebook under his arm, the lieutenant crouches to inspect the soles. Technically, they're sabatons. Okay, then, what kind of armor is this? Ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Where? Under the heel. Fair weather. He turns the boot slightly. Fairweather Model T 500/VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. Pull the boot off. This feels dangerous, are you sure? Grab the boot under your arm. The stench fills your nostril as you push downward. An ominous creaking sound comes from above. Stop! The lieutenant's voice is sharp. He looks at you with the boot under your arm. Pig's gonna pull his head off! Brutal! Oh, this is a bad idea, isn't it? You're going to pull his head off. Do it! I'm not maybe I am. Do what? Pull his head off. There's no point performing an autopsy if you do. We'll have compromised the coroner's case. What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? Are we not detectives? There may be clues inside the boot. Maybe we should concentrate on what's outside the body and leave what's inside the body at processing just this once. Besides, he taps on the boot, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots for 7 days. They're fused to his feet now. Why do you think they're the only thing left on him? Interfacing. You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around. Sounds like a plan. We're gonna do that. The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky. What's gonna happen to the boots then? Okay, got it. Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it'll yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. He looked towards the boots. Should we continue? The material looks out of place here. It is. It's expensive. The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabulary deemed it too costly. In the time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics. How much are we talking about? For a full set, about 4 years' wages. Ka-ching, baby. Nod to the boots. Yeah. By ka-ching, do you mean he tilts his head, let's not log them as evidence, let's steal them? What was that about the constabulatory before? You need to push some buttons if you want to recruit the lieutenant into in a conspiracy. If this constabulatory is dragging their feet, why not start ourselves before good men die? So they don't get shot in the foot? I think our extremities are fine without a dead man's boots. Oops. Well, no one said it would work. Back to detecting now. How could he afford such expensive hardware? That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company, but that's just hearsay. These are looking pretty advanced for a security guard. I agree. The equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford. So what happened to the rest of it? Locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. Oh yeah, he's emphasizing 7 again. Yikes. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. He nods towards Kuno. Maybe he'll know something. If you wear those pieces, it'll help me protect your mortal coil. Why does my mortal coil need protecting? Yes, bullets will fly. They always do. And the coil is fleshy and mush and permeable. Cast it in ceramic shell. Resist death. Understood. The hangman. The sabaton dangles off the man's decaying form. Ageless and synthetic. What happened to the rest of it? Back off, look at the corpse. We're gonna go to the belt. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above a sliding buckle, the belt to the branch. Electrochemistry. Oh my, there's something familiar on the belts. A familiar word that speaks to thirst within you. What was that? A word? Vermilion. In yellow letters along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion, golden spirits, lets you decipher the fading logo of the local brewery. Brewery. This is a bad time for a drink, right? Extremely. What kind of rope is this? Industrial strength, the kind used for tying cargo to lorries. Island Empire. Like in a circus. When the circus leaves town and they tie a black spotted giraffe to the wall of a carry pin. Like a harbor. Yes, it looks like they used whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves. How did they even get him up there? A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. He points to the buckle, tying the belt to the branch above. I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled the buckle. The buckle closes. He makes a pulling motion. It's what I would do. Seems easier than climbing up there. We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it? The brief suggests as much. Politically motivated by ongoing strike. Did you not get the briefing? My past has undergone total annihilation. Nothing remains. My mother, the love of my life, certainly not a briefing. Okay, he blinks. You should ask me for the first moment we get. They sure wanted him to stay up there. Polyester seems strong. It's not merely polyester. It's steel reinforced. He rises to inspect the noose. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. Look him in the eye. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home. Just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic process inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. Empathy. Underneath the curdled meat, there's an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside. An expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of his death. Ooh. Tell me who you are, dead man. I'm gone. Where have you gone? Why were you feeling pleasure when you died? Maybe I was getting my rocks off. What the fuck? First, do you have to speak like that? What dialect is that anyway? So you were feeling sexual arousal when they were hanging you. Do I look like an erotic auto? I think it's supposed to be autoerotic asphyxiation. Erotic auto asphyxiation type to you. Yes. Captain Capadromo, I fear we're drifting away. Fixating on sexuality again. Let's go with a simpler question. Where have you gone? Into the wild pale yonder. Where is that? In the past. Way out of the west. I can see you're gone, but who are you? I'm a joke. Look at me. You are now, but who were you when you were alive? A killer. And a killer. Takes one to know one. I have another question for you. What's happening? What do you mean? I'm talking to you. Oh, I didn't hit the right one. Never mind. I wanted to. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions. Why do I love questions so much? Because you're a copperoony. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions? Give me a comical amount of questions. Oh my god. It was not shit. Okay. Is my name Rooney? No. You're no Rooney. I do strike myself. Rooney's obviously not who I am. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry. Could I really be Harry? You can be anything you want to be, brother Capo. Who killed you? Love did me in, brother. It's all love all along. Can you ask me a question? Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this? What? Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder? Maybe this will lead me to something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous. But we got some XP for that. Ha! The clown lips on the corpse. The clown lips on the corpse appear to smile. The face rotates before you slowly. Shivers. Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle. From the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air on your hands. The cold spring air soothing them over. Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible? Because you have. I hate you, you stink, and you're boring. Do I remind you of someone? A baby affected with harlequinism. You sure wriggled out of that one, Copaloony. Enough. How do we get him down? Kim, he stops to think, then checks his notes. Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of the things once he's down. Step back and have another look. Squint. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. Observe. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fattened head, hands, thighs, and his neck just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air. I'm squinting, Kim. Why am I doing it? Oh no, I'm gonna relax my eyes. The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue. I have something I need to know, Corpse Man. Of course you have questions, don't you? No, we're done with the questions. Yep, done. Cadaver is a good, unique challenge. I brought a chain cutter, blah, 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 blah. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance, and even if we do, there's a question of cutting it. We could saw the branch. Maybe we can ask for help. I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appears to be suspects in the case. Seems like a dangerous route to go down. But what else can we do? Okay. He looks at the cargo belt. They do have the tools and the men, and since it looks like they put him here, they can get him down too. Okay. Let's do it. The lousy and dangerous way. How do we get inside the harbor? From the gates, by negotiating or fighting. He looks up at the east, or we can try the secret route we found, where your cloak is. It looked doable. But won't it be dangerous? To ask the suspects for help with the victim's body, to be indebted to Everett Clare, very much yes, which is why I would have preferred to have us handle this ourselves. Clearly, we can't. Suck my dick, is Kuno essay coming in. Who's Everett Who's Everett Clare? The leader of the Union. A dangerous and corrupt man, from what I hear. You don't want to owe him much. Kuno. Yeah! Don't go being someone else's is. You're Kumo's is. Let's go get it then. Ooh, what's this thing? I don't remember looking at this before. Who is this little child?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you. Her nose is red from the cold. Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
I feel like I'm about to be sold into, like, some cult. She stomps her feet to feel warmer. What kind of store is this?
Bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Hold your horses, little girl. Don't be ridiculous, I know all these things. Don't you You're fooling nobody. I said I know all these things, and I do, god damn it!
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now.
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What's your name? My name's Annette, sir. My mom's her name. Her name is Plaisance. Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside, minding the register or organizing the stock. And you're standing out here in the cold because... I'm signaling that the store is open, she nods eagerly. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. A sudden gush of wind turns the page of the book on the counter. She covers her face, smiling, but she's cold. Maybe I should have a word with the store owner. Oh no, sir. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help Mom by luring in customers. She stands upright and smiles. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep me warm. Weird. Who are the famous people? Kings, queens, and generals of old. Or artists, writers, musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I had a different question. Shouldn't you be at school? I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help my mom keep this place running. Isn't school more important than this? Mom says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mom says a proper work is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. How's the business going? Mom says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first, but there's talk about this house being, she looks over her shoulder, cursed. Behind her, the window has been boarded up. Yeah, it has. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders. Cursed in what way? Cursed in a way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. They all go. She's looking for the right word. Bankrupt? Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far. Sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. Narrow your eyes and look through the creaking boards on the window. We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here. The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. Yes, she chirps. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir. What do you know about the other failed businesses? Nothing really, sir. Mom doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. She looks a bit disappointed. I don't really know what's there. How does the curse manifest? It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were asking about famous people. But Kim, the plasmic manifestations. No such thing. The lieutenant stands at your side, stern and serious. Enough about the curse for now. Looks at your shaved, prickly chin. It distinctly contrasts the oily mutton chops around it. Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. What is this crime business? Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a police detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminal. Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what why would anyone want to read about crime? It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things. It's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. I'm a policeman myself, by the way. You don't look much like a policeman. She examines you as to find something policeman-like. What does a cop look like then? Didn't mean to offend you, sir. Sorry. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. She points to a book cover on which you see strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. Wow, look at that guy. I'll never be good as Mullen. Don't say that. He's not even real. You're real. Overshadowed by a fake man. That's harsh. She looks at you with sympathy. Cheer up, sir. It's much easier being fictional character. He doesn't have to deal with real things. Maybe you can show me some real deductive police work, sir. Her smile is warm and consoling, unlike the imperial image of Dick Mullen. Like in the books. Composure. We're gonna fail. Yeah. You failed to deduce anything substantial. She waits intensely. I deduce that you're very, very small. Come on, don't be silly. That's not a proper deduction. Okay, bye. Nice, autosave. Oh, I can level something else up. Rhetoric. We're going to level up persuasion and regular intellectual discourse. Book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. Okay. What's this? The ad reads broken window. Tibbs has windows. If you had a bag in your hand, perhaps you could collect these bottles and sell them. The things I've seen and done, nothing I can't do. Yellow plastic bag. Nice. Ooh, what's this? Splatter of bullet holes line the walls. The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you. Maybe you forget the lieutenant's surname. Kim, look, bullet holes. Where? He looks around. Point to the chips in the wall. Someone has been shot. We're cops. We should solve it. There. He looks to the wall. Those are old. What do you mean old? These bullets were fired during the revolution over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation. Tell me about the revolution. Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go? I like how to the point he is. He makes the, like, I think it's a really good balance on, like, everybody else being, like, super talkative and, like, overdone, you know? If that makes sense. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. Vandalism. Probably some kids. The lieutenant inspects the rig slot. Look inside. Thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk, written on the other side with the N and C scribbled backwards. Kuno. Okay. Shift your focus to the background. Under the graffito is a sea of blues and grays appears. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, and an X-shaped cross topping its tower. The church looks old and weather-worn. No lights. Interesting. This game really is open world. Damn, I can go far. Nice. Got one, all the bottles. I thought I took them all. Looks like construction's here once, decades ago. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Gilles, 33A. Take another bottle. Your room in the Whirling Inn isn't much bigger than this slop. Joyce Messier. Striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets, a silk scarf tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
What's implied here? That you're a drunk? Shake her hand. We're gonna let that slide.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
You're really backing me up. There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Interesting. I don't trust Joyce. Hard to get on her a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful. What can you tell me about the strike? Everything, she smiles. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. What's your role in this? I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay a union's demands to the Wild Pines and return the Wild Pines counteroffer. And how are the talks going? They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2.20 M racist behemoth blocking the gates. Oh, meter? Racist, okay. Tell us more about this behemoth. What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. She pauses. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now. How were the talks going before the lynching? Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived. And when did you first arrive? I arrived 3 weeks ago. She thinks. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM. He looks at his notes, but the strike began in December. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations. Interesting. This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike? Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time the demands are more, I guess you would say, aggressive. What happened to Gaumont? Mr. Clare told him, how did he put it? She pauses to compose herself. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Okay, then. Yes, keep in mind this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union. Sounds unusual, like unusual aggressive posturing. It really does to me. Tell me about the union boss. Everett Clare is a man of utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interest of his workers first. Really? Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he is the thick, viscous goo where you and I would have blood. Can't be that bad. He's the most corrupt individual I've ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there was any more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother Edgar. There's 2 of them? Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everett does. And when when one's term is foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. What about the union itself outside the Brothers Clare? The Debardeurs union was once a perfectly normal institution 20 years ago. Anyway, it must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. She adjusts her hair. Organizing labor at its best, as they say. Then something in the local chapter's elections. The brothers Claire came and transformed it into a, how do you say? She hesitates, looking for the right expression. A mob, the lieutenant says. Succinctly, the debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them. Refreshingly honest, officer, she nods. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid the concessions have only emboldened the Everard and his brother. She turns to you. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person. You see, she explains, would you say the Debardeur Union is... basically a socialist mob. We're anti-strike. Thank you for being candid, she nods. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf, the wolf always hungers. The scabs, did you put them there? The scabs? She raises her eyebrow. You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least. Rhetoric. It's implied she's open to discussing this matter at a later occasion. What are the demands? There are leaflets everywhere and banners. What did they say again? Oh, yes. Every worker, a member of the board. Over-aggressive commie posturing. In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board. Most of them probably don't even know what that means. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time a Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs to be a signature of each of the 2,200 workers in the Martinez terminal. Martinez. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. That's pretty funny, I have to admit. They're having a blast, but how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was that they would prefer a more practical solution. What are they going to do? I'm not sure, naturally. I assumed that this was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation, if there ever was one. Excuse me, the lieutenant looks up from his notes. From what did you hear about this lynching? From whom? Her reply comes back quick. I first heard about it from the boy at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was Call Me Manya. Mañana? Manya. Oh my god. This checks out. One more thing. You said something happened in the elections. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman. The previous foreman of the union. She disappeared. Disappeared? Yes, on the last day of the local chapter's elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore or coming to work, ever. End of story. Some kind of extortion, probably? Indeed, the company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Claires. Watch out when you're dealing with him. Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine. That's all I need. Let's change the topic. Of course, she passes the thermal cup between her gloved hands. How else can I help you? Do you know something about these tattoos? That's the man who was killed. She almost takes the photo, but then stops. I'm afraid it's a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. So you know something about the tattoos? Better not to tie the force day. to the backstay on this. I hope there's something else I can help you with. She wants to answer, but protocol keeps her from it. What else can you tell me about it? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. She falls silent, contemplating something. Secret task complete. Yeah. We got a secret task. I didn't know that was a thing. The information I'm going to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers. Fuck. Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. The lieutenant hands her a piece of blue plastic. I'm Lieutenant Kitsuragi from the Precinct 57. He points to you. And this is my colleague from the 41st. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice. How curious. She returns to the lieutenant's badge and turns to you. Why is that, detective? Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events. Remember when my partner told you I recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it. I see. She looks increasingly worried. So are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Yes. I can't hear you, darling. Please speak up. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. The world, the city, nothing. Oh dear. She sighs with confusion, sadness even. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia? I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition. As I said, ma'am, the lieutenant interjects, his techniques may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM. New task, Joyce's info. Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge. Hang on, she's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. How can I negotiate my way out of this? Yes! Negotiator, just to float a favor at her. Insinuate. Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials. I'll be frank with you. She puts down her thermal cup. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible. You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain. Like what? Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason they're profiting from this trade. The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stone. Or, she picks the cup back up, you can recover your badge, though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause. Detective, Lieutenant closes his notebook. A word in private before we can continue. Excuse us for a moment, madam. Shadows on the water.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
The lieutenant's voice is hushed. How did you hope it would go? Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, you know, not volunteer us as her henchman. I thought it was going well. This woman is running circles around us. She may have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she simply is an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands. He doesn't let it show, but there's a limit to how much the consequences of our unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation. We could just find my badge. He nods slowly. That would be fantastic, but do we have time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. I'm sorry, I'll handle it. I'm sure you will, Detective. Let's get back to her.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Tell me on Wild Pines. What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for the Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking. So what do they do? The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freighting, that sort of thing. She points to the small dot on the horizon. See those airships there? Blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. Then to the east towards the harbor, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil, and gas exploration offshore platform. Oh my god, I can't read punctuation apparently. How much money does Wild Pines have? Well, oop, there we go. Where's my chat? There it is. Okay. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year the company booked more than 20 billion in real revenue. A billion? That's it? I thought they were supposed to be big time. And to think, there are years when the group's books losses in the billions. A wave hits the slopes, she grasps the mainstay for balance. Wild Pines employs 72,000 people, all of whom have families that depend on their salaries. It's a tremendous responsibility. Where do they get these billions? They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between Samaran and Insulindian Islas 250 years ago, when Pine's ships explored the South Semines and charted low Manthang on behalf of the Suzerain. Suzerain? Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into the endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing its everything. It's taken everything from its employees to build it. What does this huge system want with a place like this? Look around. You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, she gives you a little smile? Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company's nothing without them. We built this district, she says calmly. All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislaine with its bastions, the Plaza Meteorian mosaic, even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to investments from the WP. She points behind you where the seawall rises. Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbor, even before it was part of Revocol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for Revocolian employees. A company getaway for a weekend or summer holiday. Then came the revolution, but that's another matter. She takes a sip. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built. Okay, girl. With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone. Tell me about the drug trafficking. It's quite straightforward. Someone's using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isla into Revocol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years. Ingredients for what, ma'am? Meth, dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from this stuff. Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revocol through the terminal? Yes, and after they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter north of here. Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean? We're in logistics. It's our business to know, and no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Let me get this straight. I already did that one. And you want us to investigate? Yes, but you won't get anything out of Everard and the dock workers. Still, she raises her bony finger. Every chain has its weak link. What do you mean? The lorries, she stresses. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbor into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable. Perhaps you noticed that the number of lorries are tangled in traffic jam at the roundabouts just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. She gives you a knowing look. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I'll share company secrets with you. You'll be indebted to her in a way, but one step ahead of the Union in another. What proof do you have that the Union's involved? How do you think they're financing the strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight. There was a shakedown of the local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it. With all due respect, these desert cacti and the contents of a few cash registered cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. So you think it's being funded with source ingredients for drugs? Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open it up for you. Sounds like she tried to look into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorry man would confide in. Why didn't you come to them, the RCM earlier? We did, on more than one occasion. Apparently there's some sort of inner precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under. We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence. Well, she smiles and points towards the roundabout. Here's your chance, officers. It's no coincidence they're stranded, is it? No, we asked for East Motor Tract to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, there's a limited time opportunity. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the trade committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge and the operation will continue. She looks north. Thousands of liters of raw ingredients will pour into the streets of Revachol, not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary. Well, at least this solves one mystery. What's that, Lieutenant? Why I had to call East Motor Tract and beg them to open the drawbridge for me? I'd wonder since I first drove in on my motor carriage. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kitsuragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand. All right, I've made up my mind. Yes. There's no way we can take this case. Now, I'm very sad to hear that, officer. Her voice is ice cold and laced with worry. If you change your mind, please let me know. If not, good luck finding your badge and your memory. In the meantime, I'll still try to assist you any way I can. This disagreement is peanuts compared to what happens if you fail your main investigation. That's it. Of course. Take care. Interesting. Maybe I'll go investigate them anyway, because, like, fuck it. The hell did you say to me? You call me a pig? Southwest and west entrance to the tenements. A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. Door rattles against your knuckles, but no response. Knock again. This time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door. I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
This is the police. Open the door.
Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
I'm not joking.
No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
The lieutenant repeats dutifully. There's no reply, just a faint sweeping sound inside.
Stop banging on the door. I'm not.
Who am I speaking to?
Who I am. Now, the police. Everyone knows the police don't know. I already told you. I won't go check the backyard door.
Lame. Roundabout north. Ooh. Thank you. Oh wait, actually, can I go that way? Is that a turn or is that? No, it's not. Okay. Cool. What else can we do? I guess I could go interview those guys that I know are suspicious now. Let's go to the bookstore. Never really finished that, did we? At night, the streets are empty. By 2, everyone's asleep. Okay. 2100, they should be in bed. 2, streets are empty. This woman does not look happy that I'm here. Gift books, malted candy. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. National Recipes of Arda. Oh. That's probably where the cursed shit is. I'm excited. Another boring book, just discarded here. Shelf of paranormal books. Bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Look through the shelf. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book and many others on this shelf is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. How does that work? It serves platitudes while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it's important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, it's because your mind that you're ill in the first place. Does it say anything else? It features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from and how to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who's destroyed his liver, and even a chapter on the ancient Ceres tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What even paranatural about this? Just find something truly otherworldly. The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment. You gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. What's the pale? The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted. What's it about? The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as les territoires. Territoire? Yeah. I don't know. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venek or hand broom made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale. Even better, if you can find someone else, preferably a large man dressed in nothing but a towel, to thrash you while you're spread naked and helpless on a cool slab. Okay, it sounds invigorating. It is, and good for the circulation too. What else? It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pail and leave them for 30 to 60 days depending on the potency desired. And what does this pale-aged liquor do? Among other benefits, it's alleged to restore damaged liver to perfect health. I should probably get some of that. For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pale. Through the sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. The strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need. I don't know. I don't want to be a party pooper, but this pale territory sounds sort of dangerous. Maybe you shouldn't walk in it naked. Huh, anything else? There's an entire section devoted to curses for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations. I don't need that. You close the book and return it to the place on the shelf. Oh, I can't buy it. What books are these? Sir, please no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. Can't have you end up like opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no. Weird thing to say. Shelf of biographies. The plaque on the shelf reads biographies of famous people. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Anything on this of note on this shelf? I would say, the woman hums to herself, the greatest innocence? Yes, most certainly it's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power. Who or what is an innocence? Very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. She waves her hand as if casting aside the thought that you're an officer of the law. That you're an officer of the law, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understanding of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and shift in the tired order of things. So you recommend it? Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise. Look at the display, browsing through the book. None of them seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particular odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true story of Jacob Earl and Alfie Deltraz by one Cecilia Averbrook. What's it about? High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them, a madcap driver, Jacob Earl, and his blonde mane grace the cover. Next to Earl's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Ew, oh my god. Next to that, Revocalan radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real crimes and ruining cops' days. I really must insist you buy one of the books. You're interrupted by the shopkeep. Reading them is not free. Do still browse though, but not too long. She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately course corrects. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead, take your time. It's commerce. Tome of Fascist Magic. Quaint picture. Okay, cool. We're gonna go over here. I wanna go in the back room. Closed curtains. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
What's behind the curtains? Nothing. Now please don't go back. Please go back to browsing books. She fiddles with her pendant. Don't feel compelled to look at the books. The books are, don't you feel compelled? They're all you care about. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Honestly, true. Examine the cage-like trinket. You see some kind of charm. An irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets that stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. Pull open the curtains. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shopkeeper cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limit to customers. Her hands has closed around her pendant. Her finger is nervously playing with the talisman. Parapsychology speaking, we're done. If you decide to open... parapsychology speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. Perception. She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. What's the curse? Why are you afraid? No, it's not it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now, please step away from the curtains. She's almost begging you. I don't care. I'm going. No, she raises her hands to try to stop you. Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme. Lies. Rip them open. Yeah, I kind of want to rip them open. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtain's tattered. We're going to rip them open. Do it. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered by dozens scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen. I warned you, you're unleashing forces beyond your understanding. Screw it. There's only 2 things to examine in here. Oh, there's 3. Oh, shit. Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers. No sane person would ever put their head into such a machine. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Merely looking at that unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity. Yikes. All right. Warded door. A heavy door with missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down? Maybe I should break it down, but not before I strategize. That's right, take your surroundings in. You need to have a solid ground and proper posture if you want to succeed. First, check your posture. Steady, breathing, solid core, you've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram. Second, check your surroundings. The room is dimly lit, littered with old barbershop rubbish. The path to the door is clear. And what about the door? It's made of solid block wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with carmine, layer of rust. It should be doable. Looks like I raised it a little bit. So it's a little bit more than a 50% chance I get it. We're gonna roll the odds. We're gonna do it. Oh no! Ow, shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know things like that hurt? Is that blood I seeing? Are you all right? The lieutenant steps closer, his eyes soft and worried. This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit. What's going on there? An upset, high-pitched voice calls out from the bookstore. Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. You can't hear her taking a frightened step backwards. Don't tempt them or you'll damage the holy wards on the door. It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door. However, it's still locked and closed, covered in dozens of little charms and trinkets. Only an echo. No one is there. What happens if I keep doing it? Nothing. Nothing changes. Interesting. Nothing else back here. Open the door. Go open the damn door.
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool?
I need to know what secrets are behind there. You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to look at books. She fiddles with her pendant. Go to them. You mentioned this place is cursed. The girl mentioned it's cursed. Cursed? Who said that? Annette, she blinks. I'll have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It's robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir. Doesn't feel like it's thriving. Feels ghostly. Your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right? Yes. She wasn't slacking off again with her nose into science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? It doesn't matter. Tell me something else. What if I buy a book? Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? What types of books do you have? Blah, 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 blah. She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books. Do you even know what books you have? She scoffs. Truth be told, not really sure. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's very literary stuff, well-written prose. But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. Where do you learn about the important things? The truth is available if you just know where to look. And you have to open and free your mind to understand. She nods at you cryptically. Okay. She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved. Shouldn't you know? Okay, yeah. What board games do you have? Wonderful board game, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelago of Insulinde, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Rob Ritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Wow, I have children? Certainly feels like, oh, damaged morale. Yikes. We'll die with you. Look at me. Who'd want to have children with me? Yes, kids, friends, chicks. Then you're a lucky man. Children are the greatest treasure. She fiddles with her pendant, thinking. For playing with friends, I recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization and set off to brutally colonize and repress other Everybody in this game is messed up. Fuck. All right, we're gonna leave here. 7:08, I'm a little over time. Oh, I think we're gonna save it here. Let's, where's my mouse? Why is it not? Oh, joy of joy. It might be dead. There it is. Are we back in business? Let's see. Looks like not. So, we might be saying goodbye from here. It's a good thing I have controls down here. Seriously, thank you. Anybody who stopped by, anybody who watched, I appreciate it. Yesterday was a bit of a fun stream. I had a surprise stream yesterday for anybody who didn't see. I got to play Catan with Delighted, Trichosaurus, and Larry Lur. Which was really fun. It was a really cool game. I'm really happy that I got invited to that. So I really hope you guys check that out either on their channel or on mine. The video is still up. But yeah, it was a great time. This game is constantly messed up, and I get it's not everybody's cup of tea. It's a little bit story heavy, but I love it so far. It's just really fun to dive into. So I hope you're enjoying it. And if you haven't already, please check out the rest of the channel. I'm gonna have new emotes coming up soon. They've been in the process for I don't know how long. Hopefully they get approved soon. For subs, tier 1 and tier 2 and 3. And let me know if you have any feedback for my channel, please. I just added new channel point rewards. So yeah, I'm hoping to do some really cool things here in the future. A few things to note, just for things coming up for me. I will not be streaming Saturday. I'm actually going into work to work on a special project all day, but it's overtime, so you know, money, can't really argue that, and it's not a hard project. But I will be on Sunday at 8 to do the Catan tournament, so I'm going to be doing my qualifier and my regular and the finals, either streaming them or playing in them at 1. So it'll be a full day, morning to the afternoon. It's going to be a lot. I'm going to be struggling. We'll see how it goes. But I will be back Sunday. I might be on some Saturday night, but I might just take the night off. We'll see. But yeah, that's what you can expect from me for the rest of the week. I might come back on tomorrow or Saturday, like I said. There's something I want to do that I'm going to be working on tonight and maybe tomorrow to see if I can make it happen, but we'll keep an eye out. For regular updates, go to my Twitter. That is the best place to find what I am doing on a day-to-day. I'm posting updates there all the time before my regular streams and usually before my more spontaneous ones. And if you aren't already, please follow. It helps me out, helps you know when my videos are live. So if that's something you're interested in, please do it. I'd love to have you be part of my crew. I got 94 followers, which is insane so far. And you know, I want this to be great for you as much as it is for me. So again, if there's any kind of things you're looking for, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is for you where you are. And I hope to see you again. Have a good one.